How you do? All right, how you doing? Mr. DJ's back, and we'll play another Lost 45 from the 60s, outsourcing Billboard's Hot 100 the week of May 14th, 1966. Going back almost 50 years ago, 49 years ago. Coming in at number 58 that week. Soul Man. Well, actually, not a Soul Man. Well, a little bit of soul, like the Music Explosion song. Jazz, blues performer, Jimmy Smith. Got my mojo working, part one. Jimmy Smith and his Hammond B3 electric organ made that instrument famous, combining it with jazz, soul and jazz, back in the 60s. He was a piano player, but when he started on the organ, when he got his first Hammond organ, we are talking major dedication. He rented a warehouse, and he practiced. And he practiced, learning and refining his technique on the Hammond organ. This took about a year, maybe a little bit more than a year. But when he got out of the warehouse, he was good to go. He was playing at a Philly nightclub, Philadelphia. He was spotted by a guy named Alfred Lyon. Alfred Lyons, I believe, was his name. Alfred Lyons ran the Blue Note record label, legendary jazz label. It's still around, by the way, in the year 2015. He signed Jimmy Smith onto his record label. Jimmy Smith, between 1956 through 1964, he played on 80 sessions. I take that back. He recorded on 40 sessions for the Blue Note record label. Better double check on that. But bottom line was he was very prolific musician on the Blue Note record label. He got on with Ferb. He signed with the Ferb record label in 1962. He put out his first album called Bashing. And he's worked with numerous jazz artists in the 60s. Tina Brooks, George Benson, Kenny Burrell. Now, the song. I've always been interested, got my mojo working, just how that song originated. It has been covered by tons of people. Louis Jordan covered it. The Zombies, the Electric Prunes covered this record. Canned Heat, and more recently, Widespread Panic. The song goes back to 1956. It's written by a guy named Preston Foster. Originally recorded by Ann Cole, but Muddy Waters was the one who put the song on the map in 1957. Covered by Jimmy Smith 9 years later, 1966. Dropped from 51 to number 58, week of May 14th, 1966. Jimmy Smith, some of that jazz, baby, mixed with a little bit of blues. Got my mojo working.